Hi to YouTube, this is Georgia and this is my vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss journey. This is video number 3. If you wish to watch videos number 1 and 2, you can subscribe to my channel or visit my channel and watch those videos. In this one, I want to talk about fears and challenges that I faced along the journey so far, and any fears that I have for the future, any challenges I feel I will face. Today is Saturday, November 9th. It's exactly 1 week minus 1 day before I start my liquid diet, which will prep me for the surgery. It will shrink my liver, I will lose some weight, and that way the surgeon will have better access to the stomach. Now, it's exciting, and at the same time, I'm a little fearful of if I'm going to make it for 3 weeks. I know I have to, and this is the first legitimate challenge in terms of the dieting part that I will face. I think I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to try my best to stay strong. Now, I'm going to take us back a little bit. My first appointment for the bariatric surgery was May of 2018. It was more like a seminar where you go and there's other people there that are that have been referred for the program, and they inform you about the surgery, about the nutrition choices you have to make before and after, what are the risks, what are your options, why they recommend, because the Root and Y is the first recommended option for the OHIP covered. OHIP is the healthcare in Ontario that covers the surgery, and the reason why they recommend that is because it has the highest success rate. I'll talk about it in another video why I'm doing the vertical sleeve versus the Root and Y. For now, let's stay on topic. Talk about the fears and challenges that I faced along the way. So my first appointment was on May 2018. Today's November 9th of 2019. That means it's more than a year and a half later. And my surgery is December 6th, so it took a little less than a year to get there. A little less than 2 years to get there, sorry. The first thing I had to change was quit smoking. I wasn't a heavy smoker. I would smoke approximately 5 to 10 cigarettes a day, depending on what I was doing that day. Like if it was at work or I was in school, I would smoke less. If I was out with friends for a coffee or for a drink, then I would smoke more. If the weather is nice and you're on a patio, when smoking was allowed on patios, I would smoke more. Nevertheless, it wasn't hard for me to quit, because I wasn't a heavy smoker, but that was a decision I had to make. That was also a challenge because it pushed my journey 3 months. My second appointment was supposed to be for June, and it was pushed for late August. That means I lost 3 months just because I was a smoker. I wish when I made the appointment, someone had told me that you have to be smoke-free for a minimum of 3 months before you can go ahead, not with the surgery. You have to be smoke-free for 6 months before the surgery, but they make you quit at least 3 months before your preliminary appointments, which is smart. Because they want to make sure you're not going to go back to it. I've quit smoking before and I've started. This time is different because there is an ultimate goal to it. Rather than, I know your health is an ultimate goal as well, but now it's more serious. Like, it's more, the dangers are more, how can I say this, prominent than like long-term health issues. Same with the weight. It has long-term health issues. You're not unhealthy or you don't have serious health problems right this moment, but it could come up, it could bring you health problems in the future. So that was the first challenge. I quit. I did it. Yay for me. Then there was the fear that with every single appointment, I don't know if other people had it. I had that fear that every single appointment was like a screening for the next step. It is, but I felt like every time I was going in, I was like being tested or screened, which is, you are screened, but I felt a little, I was a little afraid of each appointment, like what they're gonna say. Am I doing okay? Am I gonna continue with the program? Are they gonna reject me? Because you have to see a dietitian, you have to see a nurse, you have to see a psychiatrist and a social worker. They have to make sure that you're gonna follow with the program, but you also have the support to follow the program and to do it afterwards. So they will ask you about your financial status, your family status. Is your family on board with this? Are you married? How's your husband feel about it, or your wife, respectively, or not respectively, depends, like your better half. So that was another reason I was stressed every time I would go in. But every single appointment as it was done, I felt better and closer. I didn't have my hopes high. I always thought something will come up and I would not go through with the surgery, or something will happen and this chance will be taken away from me. But that's like the pessimist in me thinking that way. Whenever I have to do something for myself or to better myself, I feel that something will come up and stop it or block it. And these are issues that I'm dealing with now with a therapist. I'm going to see a therapist. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't know why people have fear of talking about the fact that, or they're seeing a therapist, so that it's a good idea for someone to see a therapist. So I'm talking about these things with my therapist. Another reason I got a therapist is that after my appointment with a psychiatrist, it was highly recommended to have someone to go to be able to talk to them about your process and about how to face other things in your life. Because when you're overweight, and that's for me, I don't know if it's for other overweight people, we use the fact that we're overweight to make excuses for other problems in our lives. Like maybe you're unhappy in your relationship, or the way your life is going, the fact that, I don't know, you might feel you haven't achieved as many things that you would like to, and you kind of blame the weight for all these things. And then once you're tackling the weight and you're losing it, you might realize that it wasn't the weight's fault after all. Maybe it was slowing you down, but it wasn't enabling you so much as to not be able to do certain things. And these are things that I found are true for me. I've been like not doing things that I want to do, using me being overweight as an excuse. Another challenge that I faced this past year is because I've gained a lot of weight in the last few years. I went from like 250 to almost 300 pounds in like 3-4 years. I'm afraid to go out and do things. So I'm allowing my weight to block me from doing things. But technically, no one ever told me, oh, you can't do this because you're fat. I'm telling myself this. Don't go out like with your family or your friends, or I don't feel like going somewhere because I'm overweight and what people are going to think about me. So I'm putting those blocks, those walls for myself. And that has been challenging, and those are things I have to face and realize it's not just the weight. There are other things in there that I have to deal with as the weight comes off as well. Another thing is, I didn't tell a lot of people about the fact that I'm going through this. I withheld a lot of information. I did inform some people that I am gonna do a form of surgery. I didn't go into details what the surgery is or what the surgery is about. The reason why I told them is because I had previous engagements that I couldn't continue doing them because of all the doctor's appointments that came up. I had to focus on my full-time job rather than a part-time thing that I had. Also, because I was tutoring, I'll just say it, because I was tutoring, and if my surgery was to happen during the school year, because at the time I didn't know when I would be scheduled for a surgery, they don't tell you, they just tell you within the next few months you will be scheduled. I didn't want to leave my student hanging in the middle of a school year, especially in the late years of high school. That's not fair. So I stopped that. That was a challenge. The fact that I had to stop it. It was something that I liked, but it's okay. It happens. I found other things to do to occupy my time and feel good. And another reason to tell people was because I didn't know how they will react to it. Sometimes people are negative when you tell them you're thinking of doing this. I just told my closest friends and family. I basically told 2 friends and my immediate family, my siblings and my husband. Even my parents, I didn't tell them till a few appointments into the process. It's a major surgery. It's scary. Sometimes people have their own opinions about it. Oh, why don't you just try dieting? Yeah, I'm 36 years old in a few months, and I've tried dieting and I've tried exercising. It's not working. I feel this will work for me. And then I have to sit there and explain to people why I'm trying this. Another thing is that I didn't know if I was going to make it all the way through and actually have the surgery. So I didn't want to tell all these people, oh, I'm doing this. And then like a few months later, everyone's asking, hey, when is your surgery? Are you going through with it? And then what if like I was rejected from the program or I didn't want to go through with it? Then I feel like we would be held accountable for whether or not I was going ahead with it or not. So I feel that was a good choice. You don't need to tell everyone in your life that you're doing this. You do need to tell your immediate family because they're the ones who are going to support you through this, and you will need your support. You can't do this alone. If you are doing it alone, stay strong. Hopefully the videos will help you, or support groups. I know the hospital and the program provide support groups, but it's always good to have your family and your friends supporting you. That's why you don't need a lot of people, because then the more people you tell, the more chances you have of someone not being supportive or trying to talk you out of it, while you spend so much time trying to talk yourself into it. So another fear that I had, besides from being rejected, is that something will come up and will basically be an obstacle to this. And something did come up. This past summer, I had some gynecological issues. We found out I have a big fibroid, about 8 centimeters big in diameter. I know there are bigger fibroids. Mine is like on the large side, but it's not extremely big at the same time. I had a fear maybe I have to remove it. And if I had to remove it, because it's been painful and bleeding a lot, if I had to remove it, that means that my gastric sleeve would have to be postponed, because you can't have 2 major surgeries like this so close together. The good news is that I don't have to remove it and I can go through with the surgery. I had a big scare for a few weeks, not knowing what I'm going to do. I'm not a doctor, so I didn't know what the diagnosis will be and the treatment. I Googled. Don't Google. It's a bad thing. I know that. I usually don't. But because of that, I had that fear that, oh, look, this is going to be the one that's going to, take this away from me, and I'm not going to be able to do it. And oh my God, what a disaster. I Googled, and I shouldn't have, because none of the stuff that I found online was actually applicable to what I had. Another thing I had to do was prepare my family about what's gonna happen now, how our routine is gonna change. I won't be able to sit down for dinner with everyone, and we do have every evening, we do sit down to dinner all together. I know I've said I don't have kids. I don't mean with kids. I live with my husband and my in-laws, so we do sit down to dinner all together. This is something that will not happen anymore for me, at least. Starting the liquid diet means I won't be able to eat with them, and it's not fair for me to sit down while they're having dinner and watch them eat all the good stuff. And that is something that we need to keep after the surgery as well, because for the first few weeks, I will be going from like a clear liquid diet in the hospital to a liquid diet to a soft food diet to a puree, and then back to normal. But even when you do start eating proper food, your portions are very small. There's certain things you can't have. So our routine will change in general. There are different food options. I have to admit that we do eat properly. We do have good protein options during dinner, and like vegetables, salad, cooked vegetables or a salad, and some form of starch or carbohydrate. Sometimes that could be rice or potatoes or whatever. Now it will be a little different. Also, my portions will change. Overall, I don't feel our cooking habits will change as much. What it will change is my portions, because that's my problem. It's the portions. That's another video that I will make talking about why I am the weight I am right now. So the family is on board. That was very important for them to be supportive and to say, yes, we're going to do this as a family. We're going to do this together. Because when you live with other people and you're going through this, you're not going through it by yourself. They have to go through it with you. And that's something they also have to realize, that they're going through this as well. And you have to realize that too. It's not just you, it's not just me. It's the household is going through this along with me. Now that we're a week before the liquid diet, I've got over most of my fears of the surgery not happening. There's one more appointment that I have to make, which is on November 22nd, 2 weeks from now. That's with the anesthesiologist, so we can talk about preparation for the surgery. Also, they will weigh me at that point to see if I have lost any weight from the liquid diet, because that's the point of the liquid diet. I'm a little fearful of that. That may be something like is not right. Something will go wrong and they will be like, yeah, you can't have the surgery. But that's my last little bit of like, because imagine I've felt like this with every single appointment. Now we're getting closer and closer. I've like X'd out those things, but there's still one left. Hopefully it will be okay. Now, before I wrap up this video, I want to talk about what are my fears and what I feel will be challenging after the surgery, which we're going to compare with how it is actually after the surgery. My number one fear, believe it or not, is hair loss, which is funny, thinking of the fact that I'm going in for a major surgery. It's not easy. I mean, they're cutting part of your stomach and they stapling together. There's so many things that could go wrong, like leaking and infections and ulcers and so many things that could go wrong. They gave us a pamphlet. That's another video. Like, with all the risks. But I'm not afraid of that. I don't know why. I feel like I'll be okay and I will survive the surgery. So many people have survived it. Obviously, I feel like I will do as well. My number one fear is hair loss. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it hides this. I know my hair is not great or anything, and like I do have hair. I don't know if I don't have a lot of hair, but like not have like losing hair. They tell you it will grow back. Nevertheless, I am afraid of that. I will take all my vitamins because fighting hair loss means you getting enough proteins and enough vitamins to keep your hair. I will try to have as many protein shakes as I possibly can. I'll make sure that I'll have enough protein with my meals. Those are all speculations and things that I think I'm going to try to do. Hopefully, I will be able to do it. The second thing that I'm afraid of, and I feel it's going to be a challenge, is the loose skin. I am 36. That means I'm not a 20-year-old, which can bounce back a little better. Then again, I'm not like in my 40s or my 50s, so my skin still has some elasticity. I am, though, almost 300 pounds, which means I've stretched my skin quite a bit. It used to be firm when I was like 250 or 200 pounds. Now that I'm in the 300 pound range, I feel like I will definitely have more loose skin. Why is this a fear? Because yes, I'm going through the weight loss surgery to improve my health, to hopefully be able to have kids with my husband. That was the number one reason, to be able to have kids. But it is nice to think that I will look better. I will feel better in my body, or that's what I would like to do, to be able to wear different clothes that are what I'm wearing right now. But if you do have loose skin, it's hard to do that. You still have one form of insecurity about your body. So you're doing a major surgery to get over your insecurities about your body, but something else comes along with that because of the rapid weight loss. There's the loose skin. Now there's ways to remove the loose skin, or I don't know if there's anything else I could do for it, but it is a fear and it is a challenge. Another thing is that after I know that with the liquid diets and before and after surgery, I would lose a good amount of weight very, very fast. After that, you start eating normal food. You can't eat a lot, at least in the beginning. And you can't eat bad things either, because from what I understand, you have what it's called the dumping syndrome. If you have a lot of sugar or a lot of fat, you feel very, very sick. And I feel that would prevent me from doing anything like that. Although I'm not big on sweet stuff, I am big though on fatty stuff. And I do like food. But the portion control is what is gonna save this in a way, because that has been my challenge, portion control now. And also working out is harder now that I'm heavier. So I feel if I lose a good amount of weight just from the liquid diets, I will be able to move better. So I will be able to be a little more active. and then controlling my portions, which is the reason why the surgery works, that will benefit me. The thing is, you have the challenge of regain, and a lot of people that have done the weight loss surgeries have faced this challenge. The surgery has a success rate of 60 to 70%. That means there's 30 to 40% of people out there, and 40% is a big percentage, that they go through this process. Yes, they lose some weight, but then in the long run, they will regain it. And that is sad and disappointing, because 40% is a big percentage again, and I could easily be in that 40%. I hope I'm not. I'm going to do my best to not be in that 40%. Yet the numbers are there. I don't know how I'm going to prevent this. I'm going to try my best to keep up with the diet and to make the right choices, to make the right food choices. I will try my best to keep the portions as I'm moving away from the liquid, the soft, and the puree, and I'm going back to solids. I will try to keep those portions for the rest of my life. And that is the challenge, to keep those portions for the rest of your life. And working out. I have to work a routine of being active throughout the day. So this is how I feel I'm going to face a regain challenge. Also, the fact that you've already gone through the liquid diets and you've survived it. Maybe if I do come to the point where I'm facing a regain, I could go back to a liquid diet for a few weeks. Since I've already done it, maybe I will be able to do it. Now, all these are speculations. I know there's people out there that they've done the surgery and they faced the regain, and I don't know if they've done this and maybe it worked for them, maybe they couldn't. I don't know if someone maybe can leave us a comment of how it did work or it didn't work for them. These are things probably that we're gonna discuss as we get there. The goal is to post about a video a week. These videos will be posted at a later date after I've had my surgery, and I will have the time that I'm recuperating to edit and post them. I will make a few more videos before the surgery, which is in December. And then I'll make a few videos after the surgery. I will probably start posting videos, I think, in the new year. We'll see. We'll see how it goes and how many videos I have till then. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been informative for you. The fact that I'm just sitting here talking about myself and my fears. Maybe these are fears that you're facing as well, or you are afraid of going through the process because you might be facing these challenges. You can leave comments and let me know how you feel as well. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see how it goes, and if this is something that you want to do as well. Thank you for watching.